Hey friends out there, this is April 15th, 2021, and it is just about 7:32 in the morning here in Northern California. And as usual, today I'll talk about several different subjects. But I really want to focus on what's vital for people to understand about their own personal reality and that they share with everyone else, the collective reality. And talk about the reasons for the many sundry things that bother all of us, that bug us, and the origins of those things, the causes and the causers of those issues. It's relevant because these things play a major, beyond major, a monumental role within the very health of our soul, because inevitably a great schism is created by the madness that persists and has persisted for thousands of years in this world. Fundamentally, people have to understand that humanity at large is being held captive by evil men with vast control through the purse strings, through the issuance of this entity, this substance, this thing we call money. Who could deny this is an extremely powerful tool, implement, weapon, whatever you want to call it. It's extremely effective at controlling the masses. We all have to admit that. And we all have to admit it's nonsensical. Now, if I'm talking to a group of pagans, atheists, and just secularists that say, hey, you know what, whatever, I mean, you're just, you're nutty. If you think there's life after death, I mean, once there's no brain activity, that's the general consensus, to make a generalization, because not everybody, believe me, in the scientific community is a non-believer. That's how I categorize people's mindset, their belief system, their BS. And I have to remember myself. I'm always preaching this, but I need to remember myself not to judge people too harshly. Certainly not to the point of condemnation. I mean, we've got to discriminate when we say, wow. I mean, either you're an idiot, you're thinking to yourself, or you're a freaking liar. Something's going on here. But we've got to take the third category, third choice when we think about people we disagree with, and that is simply give them the benefit of the doubt. They may really believe it. You're not their owner. You're not the boss of them. Anybody. I mean, am I even the boss of myself, I wonder sometimes. No, I know who's the boss. The boss is the owner, the sovereign, almighty creator God. So we've always got, at the end of the day, when we have very serious disagreements with people, or very grave, serious, critical issues, okay, and we go, wow, something's wrong with this person's mind for them to believe that way. Hey, maybe there is. Maybe they are evil. Maybe that's their motivation, but you don't know. And it's not your place to judge. You don't have to make that distinction. You don't have to say, well, are they real or are they just lying? Or are they just truly idiots and I've got to point out the stupidity of their thinking? Okay, so there's no easy out for any of us. That's the point I'm trying to make here. When it comes to getting it together personally, on a personal level, and collectively on a societal level, there's no easy out for any of us. We're all stuck in the same S stew. Okay, that's S followed by a profanotype. You know what I'm talking about here. So scientifically speaking, we're all getting our fair share of suffering. When you've got a fellow human being on the face of this earth suffering unnecessarily, now it's key, that makes the distinction between necessary suffering and unnecessary suffering. Necessary suffering is identifiable because it's across the board. It affects us all. It's too hot. It's too cold, for example. Diseases. Death. That is the ultimate example. which it's been known to call the great equalizer. So we've all got to face this thing. We all have good cause to give everyone respect for that reason. We have to face our own demise, as does everybody else. Or maybe we'll be around for the rapture and we'll never taste death. That's what's written in Scripture. So if we are truly living at the last days before the end of the age, I don't have to worry about dying and getting buried in the ground and all that crap. Embalming, that should be illegal. Yeah, that's bull. It makes me just say, you know what, when I'm ready to die, I'm just going to go wander and get lost in the hills. So if people can't find me, you know what I did. Because I don't want some poor bastard to have to rip my guts out. There's some, maybe it's automated now. I don't know how the hell they do that, but they shouldn't. Just, it's a freaking corpse. I mean, I know the health laws and all that crap. It's BS. Because there's plenty other material that's going to rot in the ground. Okay, it's just bull. It's not natural. Okay, just think of how Mother Nature does stuff. But anyhow, maybe I won't have to worry about that. But I'm trying to talk about the organic suffering that is acute, and we all have to deal with it. And we should all just respect each other on that basis. And just because you totally disagree, vehemently disagree with somebody, doesn't mean you don't have to love them. You do. It's your obligation. If you call yourself God's servant, you call yourself God's child, then that's the way it's got to be. But understand the other side of this thing is the unnatural, invented suffering that's created by these money masters of misery is what they are. Okay, and just like last week, I got all crazy about how I hate myself because I love money. Well, that should be all of us. You got to confess it. You got to admit it. What do you think? God is stupid? God's a lot of things, but stupid he's not. He knows in your heart. Okay, you can give to charity and you